I'm going to hell for this. Not metaphorically. Actually, literally hell.
Right.
Because I'm currently pressed against a marble column in the Sky Lounge of the Venetian Hotel in Vegas, wearing a dress I stole from a Nordstrom Rack clearance bin and drinking champagne that probably costs more than my rent, which I haven't paid, in 3 months. You look lost. I nearly choke on Dom Perignon. The voice comes from my left. Smooth, dark, expensive. Like bourbon aged in a cask made of better decisions than I've ever made. I turn and... oh, fuck. He's the kind of handsome that makes you forget your own name. Sharp jaw, dark hair pushed back like he just ran his fingers through it. Eyes so blue they look photoshopped. He's wearing a black suit that probably costs more than my car, which got repossessed. Last week. I'm sensing a pattern in my life. I'm not lost, I say, lifting my chin. I'm exploring. His mouth quirks. This is a private event. Is it? I glance around the rooftop lounge like I'm just noticing the security guards, the velvet ropes, the fact that everyone here looks like they summer in the Hamptons and winter in Aspen. Weird. The elevator let me up. The elevator. He says it like I just told him I flew here on a magic carpet. Yep. I pop the pea and take another sip of champagne, because if I'm getting kicked out, I'm taking this glass with me. Press the button and everything. He studies me for a long moment, and I feel it. The weight of his attention like a physical thing. It's unnerving. Also kind of hot, which is a problem, because I'm supposed to be finding Chelsea, not getting distracted by a guy who looks like he owns this entire building, which, knowing my luck, he probably does. What's your name? He asks. Jane, I lie automatically. Jane. The way he repeats it makes it sound like a dare. You have a last name, Jane? Doe. His eyebrows lift. Jane Doe. My parents had a sense of humor. Or you're a terrible liar. Why not both? For a second, just a second, I see something crack in that perfect composure. His lips twitch and it transforms his entire face. He goes from intimidating to devastating, and I have to remind myself that I'm here for a reason that has nothing to do with flirting with men who probably have Roman numerals after their names. I'm looking for someone, I admit, because the champagne is hitting and because I'm tired of pretending. My best friend. She came here with some guy she met at Omnia last night, and she hasn't answered her phone in 12 hours, and she has a tendency to make really questionable decisions when there's a trust fund involved, so you snuck into a private party to rescue her. I prefer strategically infiltrated. You're brave, he says, or stupid. Again, why not both? He almost smiles again. Almost. Instead, he reaches into his jacket, and my survival instincts, which clearly went to sleep somewhere around 2015, finally wake up and start screaming. But he just pulls out a phone, taps something, looks at me with those impossible blue eyes that feel like they can see straight through my borrowed dress to the Target underwear beneath. What's her name? Chelsea. Chelsea Morrison, blonde, 5'6", has a tattoo of a dolphin on her ankle that she got in Cabo and deeply regrets. He types. Waits. The silence stretches between us like taffy, and I become acutely aware of how close he's standing. He smells expensive, cedar and something dark I can't name. Old money and new danger. His phone buzzes. She's in the diamond suite, he says. 4th floor, with Marcus Vitelli's youngest son, who is... He pauses, and I swear to God I see distaste flicker across his face. An idiot, but harmless. I blink. How did you... I own the hotel. Of course he does. All of them, actually. He pockets his phone. Every Venetian property in the country. So you're rich. Obscenely. And modest. Not particularly. I should leave. Thank him and go find Chelsea and get the hell out of here before my Cinderella moment expires and someone realizes I don't belong. But I'm frozen, caught in the gravitational pull of whatever this is. This weird, electric thing happening in the space between us. You didn't ask my name, he says. I figured if you wanted me to know, you'd tell me. Smart. He steps closer and my breath catches. I'm Luca. Just Luca. Like Cher. Or God. Well, Luca. I drain the rest of my champagne because I need something to do with my hands that isn't touching his face. Thanks for the intel. I'll just go collect my disaster of a best friend and Mr. Salvatore. We both turn. A security guard is striding toward us, his face carved from granite and bad intentions. Behind him, I see two more, and they're all looking at me like I'm a bug they're about to squash. This woman doesn't have clearance, Granite Face says. We've been tracking her since she came up on the service elevator. Service elevator? Luca's voice drops several degrees. You told me you took the elevator. I did take an elevator, I say weakly. Just, a different one. The kitchen staff elevator. It had buttons. How was I supposed to know it was morally distinct from other elevators? Granite Face reaches for my arm. Sir, we'll escort her out. Don't touch her. The temperature plummets. Luca doesn't raise his voice, doesn't move, but something shifts in the air, something primal and dangerous that makes the hair on my arm stand up. Granite Face freezes mid-reach, his hand hovering inches from my elbow. She's with me, Luca says, and his eyes stay locked on mine. She belongs to me. My heart stops, restarts. Does a complicated gymnastics routine. Sir? Granite Face sounds confused. You heard me, Tony? Luca finally looks away from me and I can breathe again. Sort of. This is my guest. Anyone who has a problem with her being here can take it up with me directly. Are we clear? Tony nods so hard I'm worried about whiplash. Crystal, sir? Good. Now leave us. They evaporate like smoke, and suddenly it's just me and Luca and the Vegas sun beating down on us from a cloudless sky. The party continues around us. Beautiful people drinking beautiful drinks, laughing at beautiful jokes, but we're in our own bubble. Our own dangerous, confusing, absolutely shouldn't be this hot bubble. I don't belong to you, I say. I know. Then why did you? Because they would have thrown you out. He tilts his head, studying me like I'm a puzzle he's deciding whether to solve. And I'm not done talking to you yet. I need to find Chelsea. After. After what? He smiles then, really smiles. And it's like watching the sun come up. After you tell me your real name, Jane Doe. I should run. Everything in my body is screaming at me to run. But I don't. Instead, I look up at this beautiful, dangerous man who just claimed me in front of his security team, and I do the stupidest, bravest thing I've done all day. I smile back. Maren, I say. Maren Blake. Maren. He tastes my name like it's that expensive champagne. Better than Jane. Low bar. He gestures toward the edge of the rooftop, away from the crowd. Walk with me. It's not a question, but I follow anyway because apparently I've decided to make terrible decisions a full-time career. We move past clusters of people who look like they belong in a Forbes photo spread, and I catch snippets of conversation, mergers, acquisitions, someone's yacht in Monaco. So, I say, because silence makes me nervous and he seems perfectly comfortable with it. You just tell security that random women belong to you? Is that a Tuesday thing, or only when they break into my parties? I didn't break in. Breaking implies force. I used stealth. You used the kitchen elevator. Strategically. We reach a quiet corner where the strip sprawls below us in daylight glory, all glass and gold and excess. He leans against the railing, and the sun catches in his dark hair, and I really need to stop noticing things like that. Why hasn't Chelsea answered her phone? He asks. Because she's probably horizontal with Trust Fund Jr. That bothers you. Of course it bothers me. She does this. Meets some guy with money and disappears for days, and I'm the one who picks up the pieces when he turns out to be married or boring or both. I stop, realizing I'm word vomiting to a stranger. A hot stranger who owns hotels. Plural. Sorry, you don't need my friendship drama. I don't need a lot of things, Luca says. Doesn't mean they're not interesting. The way he looks at me makes my stomach flip. Like I'm the most interesting thing on this entire rooftop, which is insane because there's literally a woman over there wearing a dress made of crystals. His phone buzzes. He glances at it and something dark crosses his face. Problem? I ask. Always. He types something quickly. I have a meeting in 20 minutes. Downstairs. Then I should come with me. I laugh. Actually laugh. I'm not crashing your meeting. Why not? You crashed my party. That was different. How? I had a reason. You still do. He pockets his phone and looks at me with an intensity that feels like a physical touch. I want you there. You don't even know me. I'm working on that. My brain is screaming abort, abort, but my mouth says, fine. But if this is some weird rich person thing where you're secretly filming me for a reality show, I'm out. Noted. The meeting is in a conference room that's bigger than my entire apartment. Floor-to-ceiling windows, a table that could seat 20, and 5 men in suits who all look like they bench press luxury cars for fun. They also all look deeply uncomfortable with my presence. Luca, one of them says, silver hair, expensive watch, the kind of tan that comes from private beaches. This is a closed meeting. Marin stays, Luca says simply. I'm standing by the door wondering what the hell I've gotten myself into when he pulls out a chair, next to his. The message is clear. Sit or leave, but he wants me to sit. I sit. Gentlemen, Luca says, and somehow that one word contains more authority than most people manage in a full speech. Update. Silver hair clears his throat. The Chicago situation is escalating. Dante Rossini is making moves. Bought 3 properties in our territory last week, spreading money around to local businesses, making friends. Dante's always making friends, another man says. It's what he does before he burns everything down. I must make a sound, some tiny indicator that I recognize that name, because Luca's eyes cut to mine. You know him? He asks. I know of him. Everyone in Vegas knows of Dante Rossini. He tried to buy the bar where I work. Well, worked. Past tense. We closed last month. The room goes quiet. Which bar? Luca's voice is too casual. Murphy's, on East Fremont. I shrug. Owner couldn't keep up with the new rent. Landlord doubled it overnight, and suddenly we were done. Who was the landlord? Some LLC, I don't remember the name. Silver hair pulls out a tablet, types. His face goes carefully blank. Crimson Holdings. Which is? I look around at faces that have all gone eerily still. A Rossini shell company, Luca says quietly. He's been buying up properties, forcing out small businesses, filling the spaces with his own people. Money laundering fronts mostly. Oh. So you're... I gesture vaguely at him, at the room, at the universe of implications currently crashing down on my head. You're actually like Mafia. We prefer family business, Silverhair says dryly. Is there a difference? Not really, Luca admits. Does that scare you? It should. It absolutely should. But I'm thinking about Mrs. Murphy crying when she had to lay us all off, about how I've been living off credit cards and hope for 3 months, about Dante Rossini's smug face in that grainy photo from the review journal. No, I say. It pisses me off. Something flickers in Luca's eyes. Approval, maybe, or interest. The Chicago families are backing him, Silverhair continues. They want a foothold in Vegas, and Dante's their weapon. He's planning something big. We just don't know what yet. Find out, Luca says. I want eyes on every property he's bought, every person he's meeting with, every dollar he's spending. If Dante Rossini breathes in this city, I want to know about it. The meeting continues. Strategy, surveillance, terms I don't fully understand, and I sit there absorbing the reality that I'm in a room with actual mobsters. That Luca Salvatore isn't just rich, he's dangerous. That family business means the kind of family that settles disputes with more than strongly worded emails. I should be terrified. Instead, I'm fascinated. When the meeting ends and the men file out, Luca turns to me. You're quiet. I'm processing. Having second thoughts? About what? We're not dating. We barely know each other. You just claimed me in front of your security guards and then brought me to your mob meeting. Technically, it was a business meeting. Your business is crime. My business is protection. He stands, moves to the windows. The Salvatores have run Vegas for 3 generations. We keep order. We make sure the real predators don't take over. Dante Rossini, he's a predator. He hurts people for fun. What I do, is keep people like him in check. That's a very convenient justification. It's the truth. He looks at me and there's something raw in his expression. I'm not asking you to approve. I'm just asking you to understand. I join him at the window. Below us, Vegas glitters in the afternoon sun, beautiful and brutal, and somehow both at once. My dad was a cop, I say quietly. Shot in the line of duty when I was 16. The guy who did it walked on a technicality. Wrong warrant, evidence thrown out. My mom says the justice system works, but sometimes I think... I trail off. Sometimes you think people like me are necessary. Luca finishes. Sometimes I think the world is more complicated than good guys and bad guys. His hand finds mine on the railing. His fingers are warm, solid, real. I like you, Marin Blake, he says. I don't usually like people. That's concerning. Probably. He smiles and it's softer than before. Have dinner with me tonight? I can't. I have to... What? Go home to my empty apartment and stress about bills I can't pay? I should check on Chelsea. Already done. I had someone bring her to the lobby 20 minutes ago. She's fine. Annoyed that you tracked her down, but fine. Of course he did. Dinner, he says again. My ranch, outside the city. I'll send a car. You have a ranch. I have several. This one has horses. Do you ride? Every morning. His thumb brushes across my knuckles, casual and devastating. I'll teach you. I should say no. This is crazy. He's Mafia. I'm unemployed. We're from different worlds, different lives, different tax brackets. But when I look into those impossible blue eyes, I hear myself say, "What time?" His smile could light up the entire strip. 6. Wear jeans. The ranch is ridiculous. Not ridiculous like, oh, cute, he has some horses. Ridiculous like, this is literally a resort disguised as a ranch, and I think I just saw a stable nicer than my apartment. The car, a black SUV with leather seats that smell like money, drops me at the main house, which is all stone and wood and windows that reflect the desert sun. It's 4 in the afternoon, and the heat shimmers off the landscape like a mirage. Luca's waiting on the porch in jeans and a white button-down with the sleeves rolled up, and Jesus Christ, he should come with a warning label. You came, he says. You sent a very persuasive driver. Marco does good work. He comes down the steps, and I notice he's holding 2 bottles of water. Thought we'd go for a ride before dinner, unless you're scared of horses. I'm from Arizona originally, I've ridden. Good. He hands me a water bottle, and our fingers brush. That spark again, electric and dangerous. Come on. The stables are, and I cannot stress this enough, nicer than most people's homes. 12 stalls, each one occupied by a horse that probably costs more than a car. Luca leads me to a beautiful Palomino mare. This is Stella, he says. She's gentle, won't throw you. Comforting. He helps me mount, his hands steadying my waist, and I try very hard not to think about how that feels. Then he swings onto a black stallion with the kind of easy grace that suggests he's been doing this his entire life. We ride out into the open desert, past cacti and scrub brush and endless blue sky. It's quiet except for the sound of hooves and wind, and for the first time in months, I feel like I can actually breathe. This is beautiful, I say. It's home. Luca rides beside me, relaxed in a way I haven't seen before. My grandfather bought this land in the 60s, built it up from nothing. He said a man needs a place where nobody can touch him. Sounds lonely. It was. He looks at me. For him, anyway. We ride for maybe 30 minutes before he leads us to a ridge overlooking the valley, dismounts and helps me down, and suddenly we're standing close enough that I can see flecks of silver in his blue eyes. Why did you really invite me here? I ask. Because I wanted to see you again. You could have taken me to a restaurant. I could have. He doesn't step back. But then we'd be surrounded by people, and you'd be wondering if I brought you there to show you off or impress you, and you'd spend the whole time analyzing my intentions instead of just being here. That's very presumptuous. Is it wrong? Damn it. No. He smiles, that real smile that transforms his face, and reaches up to tuck a strand of hair behind my ear. The gesture is so casual, so intimate that my breath catches. I haven't stopped thinking about you, he says quietly. Since yesterday. Since you stood on my rooftop in a stolen dress, drinking champagne and lying about your name. It wasn't stolen. It was clearance. Marin. The way he says my name feels like a touch. This is insane, I whisper. We don't know each other. You're you, and I'm... You're brave and funny, and you broke into my party to save your friend. You sat through a meeting about territorial disputes and money laundering without flinching. You lost your job because of Dante Rossini, and instead of being scared, you got angry. His hand cups my jaw. You're extraordinary. I'm unemployed and broke. I don't care. You should. Why? His thumb brushes my cheekbone. Because we're from different worlds? Because I have money and you don't? Because my family's business is complicated and dangerous? He leans closer, and I can feel his breath on my lips. None of that matters, Maren. Not to me. I should pull away. This is moving too fast. He's Mafia. This is a terrible idea, but I don't pull away. Instead, I kiss him. It's soft at first, tentative, testing. Then his hand slides into my hair and mine fist in his shirt, and suddenly it's not soft at all. It's heat and hunger and 3 days of tension exploding into something that makes my knees weak. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. Okay, I say shakily. That was... His phone rings. Luca closes his eyes, clearly debating whether to ignore it, then sighs and pulls it out. This better be important. He listens. His entire body goes rigid. When? Pause. Where is she now? Another pause, and his jaw clenches. Keep her there. I'm coming. He hangs up and looks at me, and the softness is gone. He's all business now, all cold, lethal focus. What's wrong? I ask. Chelsea. My stomach drops. What about Chelsea? Dante's people grabbed her, an hour ago, outside her apartment. He's already moving toward the horses. They're holding her at a warehouse on the east side. They sent photos, made it very clear it's a message for me. Why would they? But I know, I already know. Because of me. They saw us together yesterday, at the party. His voice is tight with rage. This is Dante making a move, showing me he can touch people close to me. I'm not close to you, we just met. He stops, looks at me with eyes that burn. You think that matters? You were on my rooftop, under my protection. That makes you mine, Maren. And now he's using your best friend to draw me out. The world tilts. This is my fault. Chelsea's in danger because I snuck into a stupid party, because I flirted with a mobster, because I didn't think about consequences. We have to get her, I say. I have to get her, you're staying here. Like hell I am. Maren. She's my best friend, my responsibility. I'm the reason she's in this mess. I grab his arm. I'm coming with you. It's dangerous. I don't care. We stare at each other, and I see him weighing options, calculating risks. Finally, he nods once. Stay close to me. Do exactly what I say. Understand? Yes. And Maren? His hand catches mine. After this is over, we're having a very long conversation about your definition of self-preservation. Looking forward to it. The warehouse is exactly what you'd expect. Concrete, industrial, surrounded by chain-link fence. But it's 3 in the afternoon, and the sun is beating down like a spotlight, making everything harsh and visible and real. Luca's men are already there, 6 of them, armed and positioned. Silver Hair from yesterday briefs us quickly. 4 hostiles inside. Dante himself isn't here. Sent his lieutenant Marco Venz. They have the girl in the back office. They're waiting. Of course they are. Luca checks his gun with practiced ease. This is a trap. Absolutely. Then let's spring it. He looks at me. You stay with Tony. He'll keep you safe. Luca? Not negotiable. But his hand cups my face, gentle despite the violence brewing around us. I will get her back. I promise. Then he kisses me, hard and fast and desperate, and walks toward the warehouse. I watch him go with my heart in my throat. It happens fast. Luca and his men go in. There's shouting, a gunshot, sharp and terrifying even in broad daylight. Then another. Tony has his hand on my arm, keeping me behind the SUV, but I can see through the warehouse's high windows. Shadows moving, more shouting. Then Chelsea appears in the doorway, alive, unharmed, running. Behind her, Luca emerges with 2 of his men. They're escorting someone, a man in an expensive suit bleeding from his shoulder. Marco Venz, presumably. Chelsea reaches us first, throwing herself into my arms. Oh my God, Maren, what the hell? Are you okay? Did they hurt you? No, they just... They kept asking about you, about Luca Salvatore. I didn't know what to say, and then these guys showed up and... She pulls back, mascara streaked, furious and scared. What is happening? Long story. I'll explain everything, I promise. Luca approaches with Marco Venz, who looks significantly less cocky than I imagine he did an hour ago. They stop in front of us, and Luca's face is cold, the kind of cold that makes Arctic winters look tropical. Tell Dante, Luca says quietly, that if he ever touches anyone close to me again, I will burn his empire to the ground and salt the earth where it stood. Tell him this city belongs to the Salvatores, and that will never change. And tell him... He glances at me, and something soft cracks through that ice. That Marin Blake is under my protection. Permanently. Marco nods frantically. I'll tell him, I swear. Good. Luca gestures, and his men drag Marco away. Then he turns to me, and his hands are gentle when they frame my face. You okay? He asks. I'm fine. Chelsea's fine. You're... I notice blood on his sleeve. You're bleeding. Grazed. Nothing serious. He brushes his thumb across my cheek. I told you I'd get her back. You did. I'm shaking now, adrenaline crashing through me. Thank you. I don't know how to... Stay. I blink. What? Stay with me. His eyes are so blue, so intense. Not just tonight. Not just until this blows over. Stay. Let me protect you. Let me... He stops, searching for words. Let me keep you. Luca, I can't just... Why not? You have no job, no apartment you love, no reason to say no except fear. He steps closer, and his voice drops. And you're not afraid of me, Marin. You've never been afraid of me. He's right. I'm not afraid of him. I'm afraid of how much I already feel for him. I barely know you, I whisper. Then get to know me. I have time. I have all the time in the world. His forehead touches mine. Say yes. Behind us, Chelsea clears her throat. For what it's worth, he did just save my life, and he's insanely hot. I'm voting yes. I laugh, actually laugh, because of course Chelsea's first response to trauma is relationship advice. Then I look at Luca Salvatore, this dangerous, complicated, beautiful man who crashed into my life and turned everything upside down, and I think about playing it safe versus taking the most terrifying leap of my life. I think about my empty apartment and my maxed out credit cards and my complete lack of reasons to say no. I think about the way he looks at me like I'm the only person in the world who matters. Okay, I say. His smile could power the entire strip. Okay? Yes. I'll stay. We'll figure this out. He kisses me then, deep and slow and sweet, while the Vegas sun beats down and Chelsea Wolf whistles and his men politely look away. When we break apart, he's still smiling. I'm going to take very good care of you, Marin Blake, he murmurs against my lips. You better, I say. I have expensive taste. Good thing I'm obscenely rich. And modest. Not particularly. I kiss him again. Because I can. Because he's mine now and I'm his. And because sometimes the craziest decisions turn out to be the best ones. Sometimes you sneak into a party and meet a mobster and your whole life changes. Sometimes that's exactly what you needed all along. The end. If you loved Marin and Luca's story, don't keep it to yourself. Like this story, if their chemistry made your heart race, subscribe for more cinematic mafia romance stories that'll make you swoon. Comment below. Would you sneak into an exclusive party for your best friend? What did you think of Luca's "You belong to me" moment? Let me know your favorite scene. Share with your romance-loving friends who need a new obsession. Your support means everything and helps me create more stories like this. Which mafia romance trope should I write next? Tell me in the comments. New mafia romance stories drop regularly. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss one.